welcome to the Business English Podcast. First, let me ask you all something. Have you ever felt stuck or bored while trying to practice your English speaking skills alone?
Exactly. This topic is so important because many learners feel they lack real-world speaking experience. Today, we're going to explore why the shadowing English speaking practice method is a game changer.
Indeed. The shadowing English speaking practice method we're covering can help you build confidence and fluency. It works by mimicking native speech patterns so your pronunciation and intonation improve in a natural way.
Totally. This method will let you practice listening and speaking skills at the same time. We'll outline the benefits, the steps to follow, and how you can integrate it into your daily routine.
Couldn't agree more. This podcast will be divided into several parts. First, we'll introduce the core idea, then dive deeper into examples, followed by 2 English lesson segments. Finally, we'll wrap up with practical tips and a helpful summary for everyone.
Absolutely. Remember, output is crucial to mastering English, so share your opinions in the comments. We want to learn together with all of you. Give this a like and subscribe, and let's begin.
By the way, the shadowing English speaking practice method you'll discover today can truly make speaking drills more engaging. So let's break down what we'll cover in this segment. First, we'll explain the concept behind the shadowing English speaking practice method. Then, we'll share why it's become such a buzzword among language learners. Finally, we'll discuss how it fits modern learning trends.
Exactly. The idea is pretty simple. You listen to a model speaker, often a native or advanced speaker, and repeat or shadow their words almost instantly. That means mimicking pronunciation, speed, and intonation without pausing too much. It's almost like an echo with a slight delay.
Absolutely. This has gained traction because it forces you to produce sounds immediately, which builds muscle memory. In recent years, big tech companies have mentioned shadowing in their AI-driven language apps. People see it as a shortcut to more natural, spontaneous speech practice.
Indeed, another reason it's huge now is the global workplace shift. Companies want employees who can communicate quickly and clearly, even in online meetings. Shadowing helps you catch the rhythm of fluent speakers, which is crucial when you're dealing with international clients or virtual teams.
That's right. If you look at best practices from top language schools in Japan, Europe, or the US, shadowing is often highlighted as a fast track to active usage. It not only improves your listening comprehension, but also shapes your speaking speed and accuracy.
You nailed it. Plus, there's a psychological edge. When you repeat phrases quickly, you build confidence. No doubt about it, confidence is key for business communication, right? Overthinking can slow you down, so shadowing pushes you to speak without hesitating too much on grammar or vocabulary.
Precisely. Now, what makes this method unique is its focus on immediate response. Unlike repeating a phrase minutes later, shadowing gives you no time to second guess. It's intense. But that intensity trains you to speak more naturally, which is exactly what learners need.
Totally. Studies show that short, frequent bursts of shadowing can lead to faster progress than longer, irregular sessions. For instance, some business professionals schedule 10-minute shadowing drills before important presentations. It primes their brain to switch into English mode and reduces the fear of speaking mistakes.
Exactly. Another best practice is to use varied sources like podcasts, YouTube clips, or short news segments. By the way, you don't have to limit yourself to formal business content. Mixing casual dialogues with corporate speeches gives you a balanced feel for different registers of English.
Indeed. Let's also talk about the global trend. Many multinational firms are adopting English as their official language, so employees need to adapt. Shadowing helps you quickly align with standard pronunciation or even specific regional accents. That could be a big advantage in international negotiations or project meetings.
No doubt about it. There's this success story of a sales manager in Singapore who practiced shadowing daily. After a few months, she reported feeling more at ease while pitching to global clients. She mentioned fewer awkward pauses and a better flow, which boosted her team's performance overall.
Precisely. Another example is a tech engineer in Germany who used shadowing with startup pitch videos. Within 6 months, he could deliver presentations in English without reading from a script. That confidence opened new opportunities, like attending conferences and networking events without feeling anxious or unprepared.
Couldn't agree more. Let's summarize. Shadowing is repeating speech in real time, capturing the speaker's tone and flow. It's vital in today's interconnected business world. From corporate pitches to everyday online meetings, shadowing trains you to respond faster and speak more naturally in professional settings.
That's exactly how I see it. Keep in mind, though, consistency is key. Doing it once in a while won't help much. You have to integrate it into your schedule. With that said, let's move on and see how we can break down this method into practical steps.
Exactly. We'll dive deeper into specific techniques in our next segments. Stick around to learn how to actually apply shadowing, plus get some practical business vocabulary tips. Let's keep the momentum going and jump right into our English lesson coming up next. Alright, let's move on to our first English lesson. We'll look at 5 terms from our previous discussion. The goal is to help you use them in your own sentences so you can sound more natural and professional in business settings.
Exactly. The first one is buzzword. It means a popular or trendy term often used in professional or media contexts. For example, cloud computing has become a major buzzword in the tech industry. You can also say, shadowing is a buzzword in language learning circles.
Absolutely. Next is muscle memory. It refers to the automatic execution of a skill after repeated practice. For instance, typing becomes muscle memory after years of daily use. In shadowing, speaking quickly can turn into muscle memory if you practice regularly and consistently.
Totally. The third term is registers. In English, a register refers to the level of formality or style used in communication. For example, the way you speak in a casual text message is different from a formal email. That difference in tone is called a register.
Indeed, understanding registers helps you switch between casual conversation and professional talk. It's especially useful in business settings where you might chat informally with coworkers, then shift to a more official tone for clients or executives. Mastering multiple registers can boost your credibility.
Exactly. The fourth term is pitch, which we often use in business. A pitch is a concise presentation, often trying to persuade someone to buy a product or invest in a project. For example, she delivered a great pitch to potential investors and secured additional funding.
That's right, pitches are common in sales, marketing, and entrepreneurship. Shadowing can help you sound more confident while pitching. If you practice with existing pitch videos, you'll get used to the right intonation, pacing, and choice of words. It can really improve your delivery.
Absolutely. Finally, awkward pauses. This phrase describes moments of silence that feel uncomfortable in conversation. They often happen when you're unsure what to say. Shadowing helps reduce awkward pauses by training you to speak quickly, so you fill the space with more fluent, confident speech.
Couldn't agree more. So those are our 5 picks. Buzzword, muscle memory, registers, pitch, and awkward pauses. Try using them in your own sentences. Remember to practice aloud if you can, because speaking helps lock these words into your active vocabulary.
No doubt about it. Give these words a try in everyday conversations or write them down in your notes. The more you use them, the more natural they'll feel. All right, let's move on and see how to put our shadowing insights into real-world practice.
Let's shift to some practical tips for making the shadowing English speaking practice method part of your daily routine. First, set a realistic schedule. Even 5 minutes a day is better than nothing. Consistency helps you develop muscle memory and get comfortable with faster speech.
Exactly. Next, choose material you find interesting. Maybe you enjoy tech news, business podcasts, or motivational talks. If the content grabs your attention, you'll be more likely to repeat the process. Also, shorter clips can be easier to handle, especially if you're just starting.
Indeed. Another tip is to record yourself while shadowing. You can use your smartphone or computer microphone. Then, listen to the playback. Compare it to the original speaker. Notice differences in pronunciation, intonation, or speed. This method helps you pinpoint areas that need improvement.
Absolutely. Also, focus on chunks of language, not just single words. Business English often uses phrases like touch base, circle back, or value proposition. Shadow them as complete units. That way, you'll learn how these phrases flow together, and it feels more natural than word-by-word repetition.
That's right. Let me see. Another strategy is to gradually increase difficulty. Start with clear, slow speakers, then move on to faster, more advanced material. If you jump in too quickly, you might get discouraged. Build your skills step by step for long-term success.
Exactly. Also, incorporate real business scenarios. If you have an upcoming meeting, find a sample dialogue or relevant interview. Shadow those lines to practice specific vocabulary. Or, if you're preparing a presentation, record an expert's speech and try shadowing it. Tailoring practice to your needs boosts motivation.
You're spot on. Another effective approach is pairing shadowing with transcripts. Many podcasts or videos offer text versions. Read along as you shadow, then remove the transcript to challenge yourself. This helps you match words with sounds and clarifies any unfamiliar terms you encounter.
Precisely. And let's not forget about using technology. Some language apps provide instant feedback on pronunciation, or you can join online communities for language exchange. By the way, you see more and more virtual co-working spaces where people practice English together. That's another modern option.
Totally. Another thing is to practice emotional variety. Try shadowing a speaker who's excited, angry, or persuasive. In business, you might need to sound energetic during a sales pitch or calm in a conflict resolution meeting. Matching these emotions can make your English more authentic.
Couldn't agree more. Another useful tip is setting measurable goals. For example, aim to shadow for 30 minutes each week, or decide to master 3 new expressions per session. Tracking progress keeps you motivated, and seeing small wins pushes you to continue practicing regularly.
Indeed. Let me also mention accountability. If you can, find a partner or join a study group. When others expect you to show results, you're more likely to stay consistent. Regular feedback from peers also helps you catch mistakes you might overlook on your own.
You nailed it. For trend watchers, there's also a surge in short-form video platforms. People share quick clips of themselves practicing English, sometimes using hashtags to find accountability partners. This social aspect can make shadowing more fun. Seeing others improve can inspire you to keep pushing your limits too.
Absolutely. So, to recap, set a schedule, pick interesting content, record yourself, focus on language chunks, gradually increase difficulty, integrate real business scenarios, and consider using transcripts, technology, and a support system. All of these tips align with current trends, making your shadowing routine both effective and enjoyable.
Couldn't agree more. Keep experimenting until you find the perfect combination of resources. Don't worry if you make mistakes. That's part of the learning curve. When you see progress, you'll realize how powerful and flexible shadowing can be in boosting your business English fluency.
All right, let's jump into our second English lesson. We'll cover 5 expressions from our practical tips segment: accountability, chunks of language, conflict resolution, short-form video platforms, and value proposition. We'll explain what they mean and how you can use them in context.
Exactly. Let's start with accountability. It means being responsible or answerable for your actions. In a team setting, accountability helps ensure everyone does their part. For example, we need more accountability in this project, so each member will report progress weekly in our meetings.
Absolutely. The second phrase is chunks of language. This refers to groups of words that naturally go together, like at the end of the day, or for the time being. Learning chunks helps you sound more fluent because you're using common phrases rather than isolated words.
Precisely. The third term, conflict resolution, is about solving disagreements in a calm and constructive way. Businesses often deal with misunderstandings or disputes. A typical sentence might be, "Our HR department specializes in conflict resolution, ensuring team members resolve issues before they escalate into bigger problems."
That's right, fourth. We have short-form video platforms like TikTok or Instagram Reels. These platforms feature brief clips, often under a minute. They're great for quick language practice or sharing short presentations. For instance, she posted a short-form video about her product launch to grab attention online.
Totally. These platforms can boost your confidence because you're forced to deliver content quickly. If you upload your shadowing practice, you might gain feedback from other learners or native speakers. That interaction can serve as both motivation and constructive advice to refine your speaking skills.
Indeed. The fifth expression is value proposition. In business, this term refers to the unique benefits or value a product or service offers. For example, our value proposition focuses on high-quality materials and quick customer support, which sets us apart from the competition in the market.
Exactly. A strong value proposition is crucial in marketing and sales. It clarifies why a client should choose you over others. When shadowing, you can practice talking about your company's or product's value proposition, especially if you often pitch to investors or speak at industry events.
You're spot on. So to recap, we had accountability, chunks of language, conflict resolution, short-form video platforms, and value proposition. Each one is very common in the business world. Get familiar with them and try to incorporate these terms in your shadowing practice whenever possible.
Absolutely. As always, say them out loud, maybe record yourself, and listen back. The more you use these expressions in real conversation, the more fluent you'll become. All right, let's summarize everything we've covered today and bring this session to a close in our final segment.
Let's wrap up today's episode on the shadowing English speaking practice method. We discussed how shadowing can enhance pronunciation, intonation, and overall fluency, especially for business situations. We also shared practical tips, from setting a schedule to using short-form videos for extra motivation and accountability.
Exactly. Our English lessons covered key terms like buzzword, pitch, accountability, and value proposition, which are essential in professional contexts. These words can help you sound more confident and precise. The more you practice them, the easier it becomes to express ideas effectively.
No doubt about it. Keep in mind that shadowing isn't just about repeating words. It's about absorbing rhythm and style. Share your thoughts or experiences in the comments. We want to see how you apply shadowing in your everyday routine and its impact on your learning progress.
Exactly. Remember, this podcast is a community for improving business English. If you found value here, give us a like and subscribe to the Business English Podcast. We're always open to your feedback, so don't hesitate to let us know your thoughts.
Couldn't agree more. Thanks for joining us. We hope our insights on the shadowing English speaking practice method inspire you to speak more confidently, practice regularly, stay motivated, and remember that every small step counts. Until next time, keep pushing your English skills forward.